Hey there! Welcome to Jackie Talks Horror. I'm Jackie, and today I'm doing a spoiler-free review of the awesome creature feature that is Primate, which came out on the 9th of January this year, 2026. Just a quick heads up, I'm using images and trailers from the film in this video, and there'll be links to any trailers in the description down below. Primate featured in my coming January-February 2026 video, and it got my attention then due to the director previously directing 47 Meters Down, which I think is a pretty decent film. So, he had experience with animal attack horror. I will say that if the opening chimp sequence in Nope got under your skin, this feels like that idea stretched into a full-on creature feature that doesn't hold back. So did the movie live up to the hype for me? Well, it definitely left an impression, so let's get to it, starting with the characters and actors. So this film has quite an ensemble of characters. The core that we follow are Lucy, played by Johnny Sequoyah, our main protagonist, and she's the one that brings her friends home for the holiday. She acts as a link between all the main characters in this, and seems like a genuinely nice and very liked person. I recognised Johnny from Dexter New Blood, and thought she was great in that, and just as solid here. Next, we have Kate, played by Victoria Wyant. She's Lucy's best friend, clearly knows Lucy and her family well, and feels comfortable around them. You get the feeling Kate and Lucy have been friends for a long time. Next up is Erin, played by Gaia Hunter, Lucy's sister, who starts off a bit frustrated that Lucy has been away so much. There's a bit of tension there early on, which adds a nice touch to their dynamic. Next up is Hannah, played by Jess Alexander. Hannah is more Kate's friend than Lucy's, and was invited by Kate to stay with her for the holidays. She and Lucy don't seem to get on that well, but then Hannah comes over as a bit abrasive and in your face in general, right from the start. Next up is Nick, played by Benjamin Cheng. Nick is Kate's brother, who picks the girls up at the airport. He comes over as a great friend to Lucy and her family in general. Next is Adam, played by Troy Kotsur. He's Lucy and Erin's dad, and as the patriarch, he's the one that Ben seems to listen to the most. Adam is a pretty famous deaf author, although we never find out more about him than that. And as a side note, Kotsur made history as the first deaf man to win an Oscar for Best Performance by an actor in a supporting role for Coda in 2021. And last, but by no means least, is Ben, the chimp, performed by Miguel Torres Umba. Ben is brought to life using practical effects and performed by Torres Umba in a prosthetic suit. Because of this, Ben feels physically present in each scene, which really adds to the tension and danger. Now, I normally have more to say about each of the characters and actors, but really, there wasn't that much that we found out about them during this film. So while the characters themselves aren't the deepest, it's really what the film does with them that matters, which brings me on to the plot and pacing. The IMDb plot synopsis reads, a group of friends' tropical vacation turns into a terrifying primal tale of horror and survival. It gets to the action fairly quickly, and its 92-minute runtime flew by for me. Once things kick off, the film keeps the action coming and doesn't let up. I was constantly wondering how these kids would get away from Ben, and I think the time spent going, no, don't do that, or thinking, why didn't so-and-so just do this, and then they would have been home free or not in a situation at all. That constant second-guessing and tension really makes the whole thing go faster. There's enough variety in how things play out that nothing really feels repetitive, also helps keep your attention. Now, a lot of the tension is down to the production, so let's have a look at how the film is put together. Primate was directed by Johannes Roberts, who also directed 47 Meters Down and The Strangers Pray at Night. Now that's another awesome film. The film's editing is fabulous and definitely helps with establishing tension. And although in a lot of the more brutal moments we see a lot, but it doesn't linger on it, which was absolutely fine for me. The synth-type soundtrack that helped build dread was absolutely awesome, and it kind of reminded me of some of John Carpenter's scores. And when it kicked in, it absolutely helped elevate the tension in the chase and attack scenes. Ben was probably one of the best things about this film. They not only had the suit Miguel Torres Umba was in, but the production used multiple animatronic heads and puppetry for facial expressions, with various arm extensions to simulate chimpanzee proportions, specially crafted feet operated by hand puppeteers, and different contact lenses to depict the stages of infection in Ben. Roberts cited the behind-the-scenes techniques of the 1983 film Cujo as a direct reference point for the variety of practical methods employed. So, overall, a lot of what this film does really works. But how does it all stack up? Let's get into my ratings. For cinematography and soundtrack, this film gets 4.5 out of 5. The house and the whole area the film takes place in is absolutely stunning. You can imagine people being excited about hanging out there for a few days. The soundtrack was very effective and really added to the more intense scenes. For visual effects and gore, this film gets 5 out of 5. The film isn't afraid of showing you the realities of getting on the wrong side of an angry chimp in a surprising variety of ways and in every single squirm-inducing detail. The way they created Ben was absolutely awesome. You really saw his physical and mental deterioration as the infection takes hold of him. For characters, the film gets 3.5 out of 5. There are a fair few characters, but only the sisters and their dad were in any way developed. The others all felt pretty much two-dimensional, and I wasn't invested in their survival. But to be fair, they could only do what they could with the script. The characters also make so many mistakes that either got them into trouble or worse, but that is fairly standard for horror films, otherwise they'd be over so quickly. Saying that, I've never been chased by an angry wrecking ball of a chimp, so it's easy for me to say hey. For enjoyment and rewatch value, the film gets 4 out of 5. I would definitely watch this one again. I really enjoyed it, and I think this is one to put on with a group of friends and enjoy and squirm when Ben does his brutal best. Even on the first watch, a lot of the kills are signposted, although you may not expect the film to go so far with them, so repeat viewings don't hurt there. And despite the character's stupid decisions, this film has a lot of really intense moments. For personal score, this is a 4 out of 5-star film. Primate is a really good turn your brain off and enjoy the film creature feature, but the constant mistakes the characters make hold it back a little, but it is a good fun movie. And just like 47 Meters Down was no Jaws, this isn't Cujo with a chimp, but I highly recommend it if you've got a strong stomach, as it has a reasonable runtime and is a pretty decent film that doesn't pull its punches when it comes to the kills. So that's all for this video. I think you'll enjoy this if you're a fan of creature features. Have you seen Primate? What did you think of him? And how awesome and terrifying was Miguel Torres Umba as Ben? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and remember, this is only my opinion of this film. It'd be a boring old world if we all like the same things. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss what's coming next on this channel. This is Jackie signing off. Take care and see you next time.